Right. Hello, and welcome to this week's Dungeons and Dragons game. Let me just stop the gothic music playing in the background. Welcome. Yes, it is. Sorry for the delay. I do apologise for the delay, but as you will see, we got an older player, a player from the past, who has returned with us tonight. So I had to quickly, I had the overlay already, but then I had to redo Zoom to fit everybody in. So I know Sprocketeer, I know that Flat Battery hasn't got his background yet, but he will do shortly. I'll get it sorted as we move along. Now, I just need to make sure that, are you all, can I hear you all, by the way? Yeah, I get
1 2 1 2
1 2.
Hello.
Chuggerwugger said, "Are you that desperate for players?" Yeah, they take so much damage that they need another healer. They have 2 already, and they just want another one to sort of like bring in. I was just saying before the stream started that I do wonder whether or not how they're all going to fit into the mine. It might all go down in single file and it's be like the old D&D adventures when everybody used to go down in marching order and then the 2 fighters used to attack and that used to be it. The magic user used to be safe in the middle firing magic missiles. Oh, those were they. Just one magic missile.
Magic missile.
Yeah, only one magic missile because that's the only spell they had in those days. And once you cast it, that was it. You had to hit everything else with your staff. Those were the days. It was a bit dire, I remember. Anyway, let's get straight on, and let me allow the players to introduce who they are and who they will be playing. And we're going straight to you, Sprocketeer.
Hi, I'm Sprocketeer. I'll be playing Tenariel, a Wood Elf cleric who throws away her sword a lot.
She does actually.
Kills horses. Has a nice, attractive backside, and that's about it, really.
Can I just say? I think that isn't that. Is it self-proclaimed nice, attractive backside? Has anybody actually commented on it?
They all queue up to stand behind us, so that's what they're looking at.
Battery.
That's what you assume they are looking at. That's
the pervert paladin.
All I'll say. Excellent. And who's underneath there now? Clout, you are.
I'm Clisadin. I play Rubric, the Dwarf Sorcerer. He's the tank of the group.
We should all do that next week.
Yeah, this is.
I think there's a meme starting here.
A meme.
Yeah,
I actually thought it was pronounced Mimi. And could I just? I think right. Yes, and then so underneath Clout we have Big Beastie.
I am Big Beastie, and I play Bazooka, the OG rock gnome. That's what the G stands for. Dwarf? No, not dwarf. Rock gnome.
How many times can Big Beastie say rock gnome in his introduction?
That's it. Big Beastie, rock gnome.
Rock gnome. Yeah, that's all you should say. That's all you should say. You should just say Big Beastie.
Tank of the group.
Rock gnome. Well, he's not actually the tank of this group in this one because we'll go straight along to you, Flat Battery. Tell us who you're playing.
Yeah. Hi guys, I'm Flat Battery, and I'm playing Julius, the tank of the group, the better-looking bazooka, I'm a level 4 paladin.
Overall good guy, isn't he? Yeah. Chuggerwugger says, OMG, a rock gnome dwarf. Yeah, a rock gnome, half elven drow dwarf. Yeah, anything that can fit in there. And straight above Flat Battery, we have Cryptex.
Hi, I'm Cryptex. I am playing Erebol, Wood Elf Ranger, who has been trying to keep this motley crew organized and alive, basically.
You're doing a pretty good job of it so far, I must say. Because
I've seen a lot less knockouts, and we haven't lost anybody since I joined.
Yeah, did anybody die last week?
No.
No. We should have put up a sticker somewhere.
We've
And
got the alcohol-free champagne now.
yes, yeah, we should have had a bit of OJ.
Both note,
Despite Bazooka's
those
attempts, we
match
kept him
game
alive.
without injury.
Yeah, but Rurik wasn't here last week, so that could all change this week. And above Cryptex, we have Longshanks EPG.
Hi guys, I'm Longshanks EPG. I have come back from the wilderness. I'm playing a human druid called Ashenik.
I just imagine that you're all out there camping, and then all of a sudden Ashenik just wanders past. It's like, hello, and and I suppose the only were you around when Julius was around?
We had like a brief 1 or 2 episode crossover.
All right, yeah, but Rurik and Bazooka, you will be aware of them. And Rurik has recovered from his stomach buggy thing that he had last adventure. Before we go anywhere further with the synopsis of last week's adventure, I am going to run the intro. And can I just say, before I do this, I haven't been able to quickly slice in Ashenik into this one, so he's absent. So just imagine it. Here is the introduction to Dungeons and Dragons. And we are back. Here we are. So I've got so many scenes in OBS now. It's unbelievable. I need to create folders for them or something. Anyway, welcome back. So I am going to give you a brief synopsis of what has happened so far. The party is out investigating the local Whitacre mine in search of silver. And they're trying to find silver in order to build enough weapons to actually guard against a possible werewolf attack brought on by the Paladin Julius. Now, they have strict orders to search the mine and make sure that it's clear of everything. They have 2 miners with them and 2 guards. And in last week's session, they managed to clear outside the top of the mine. And just so you remember, guys, I'll just move you along to what it looked like. This was what it looked like last adventure. I'll just move to the big map so everybody can see it really clearly. So basically the party came in and they wiped out, cleared out the mine quite successfully. They had some really interesting encounters. Down here, in this part where these look like dead hobbits, these were skeletons that sort of had remained. And within this area, there was the sweet smell of honeysuckle. And before the miners and the guards came back, Erval blocked it up with this this table to stop anybody going in there. The turntable in the middle of the mine was broken. But the miners are busy fixing it. Over here, there was a lovely area that was full of gems that really tempted in Bazooka, who dashed in only to be hit upon by these strange bug-like larvae that actually dropped from the ceiling and sort of like did quite a bit of damage, and there was a big combat in the middle for quite a few combat turns there. And they also investigated this area here, which was when they went to see a table, and they also found out that these shafts where the train tracks went had caved in. If you remember, I think the other thing that I left you with was a bit of a puzzle that there was a complete area was devoid of wagons and so like barrels to put pickaxes, and there was very little tools or anything like that around it. And if you remember this shaft here, the train tracks went down at quite a steep angle and headed down further into the mine. Now, just so the stream is aware, this is not how the characters normally see the dungeon. Normally, if I was to do this and put the light back on here, then they actually see it like this. This is how they see it as they progress. But at the end of last adventure, the miners and the guards came down and set up lights, and then that was it. And you, if I remember correctly, guys, you had a long rest last time, so you have recuperated your hit dice and your spells. I think, Tenariel, you have a pebble with a light on. Is that correct?
Well, no, it was the light cantrip. It only lasts.
All right, so that's now. Are you casting it before we go down this adventure?
Yes, I will.
Yeah, and are you keeping it in your pocket?
Yeah.
Right, so I'll put you. I'll get rid of the big yellow and just put it on an orange, so we know it's underneath your. Hang on, we're missing somebody, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's drag.
Damn you, Ashenik, always coming in last.
Missing the big squid over here.
We killed it.
Yeah, no. No, it was dead. Right?
Yeah, Chuggerwugger, thank you for the bit. Everybody watch out, because Chuggerwugger's just throwing his bit at you. And I forget.
All over my face!
Spit out.
Right. Oh, that just reminds me. You're a human.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
So-
you can't see
Yeah,
now.
You don't have dark vision, is that correct?
No,
Yeah.
I do not have dark vision.
Okay then. So
I do have produce flame, so I'll probably use that. And,
Is
Okay.
that's a cantrip, isn't it?
Hey, if he's a human, we should send him into that honeysuckle room to see if anything affects him differently.
Ashenik, that's how you
Go.
will see the rest of the adventure. Can you see anything at all now?
Nope, nothing.
Right. And is your hit points correct and everything?
Yeah.
Cool. On your actual character?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you got 22 hit points, your armor class is 15, yeah?
Not your real life human hit points.
Cool. Right, guys. So let's get straight on. You've got this tunnel going away from you on the on a train track. As it goes down, you will lose the light from this top end, and therefore your dark vision will click in as you move down. And if you remember, you couldn't actually see how far it went down, but it went for a considerable amount of feet away from you, to the edge of your dark vision. So, is there anything you would like to do before we head further down into the mine?
Are we jumping past the Shenik wandering into our camp, agreeing or being asked to join us down in the cavern?
I was going to, the only thing that I was concerned about was the time, because I was aware that we started late. So,
Okay.
but I'm quite happy to role play that out, if you wish. Rurik, Bazooka, and Julius, you are aware of. You've seen Ashenik before, because you've adventured with him in a previous adventure. Araval and Tenariel, you're not aware. So let's say then that you congregate in the mine where you are now, and it is at that point that Ashenik. Well, let's say you meet up above. Do you want? Let me put you.
I was going to say, I am happy to fast track over it. I just wanted to acknowledge the way that it went.
The other three characters already know him, so they're going to vouch for him.
Yeah,
that makes him okay in our book. You know.
Yeah, we introduce him and everything like that. Warn you that he can't hit a barn door for now.
Yeah, but one of the vouchers is Bazooka.
Yeah, so and now you've got two flame tossing characters in the character because I think Rurik tosses flames as well.
Yeah,
so
they can toss together.
It's going to be on almost like a flame tossing competition for the majority of the adventure. Okay, so you are here now in the top layer, and as I said, the tracks run off. If you remember, I commented last week that the 99 bits. I know what he's doing. He's trying to kill the monster. He's trying to kill the bit monster. Yeah, there he is. Chuckawugga's scary face appears there. So if you remember last week, you realised the miners told you that the train tracks that go in either to the east and the west, they've caved in and they don't look like they can actually get out to unpick it. But if you wanted them, they can start hacking away. And if you also remember, can you see my pings, guys? Yeah. Yeah. This area was something that they probably started to mine, but it wasn't a profitable ore seam there, so they stopped it and just left it how it was. Okay, over to you guys.
All right, let's get moving. The sooner we get to the lower levels cleared, the sooner we can get out of here.
Yeah, there's really only one way to go, so shall we?
Oh, Julius has lost his accent.
Yar!
While I go, I'm looking to see if I see veins of adamantine.
Okay, can you see the top bit of the track? If you can put yourself in a marching order at that point, because that's how wide it's actually going to be. So it's going to be hard to get you two abreast. You're going to have to go single file down that point. Okay, so Bazooka's going first, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, and then Julius, then Rurik. I need the rest of the marching order, guys.
I prefer to pull up the rear today.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he does.
So Tenariel next then, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Ashenik and Ervol. Okay, can you quickly just run through what you are having out at as you progress? So Bazooka.
My sick. No. My
You're both your scimitars. Yeah.
yeah, I'm having them out.
Okay, excellent. Julius.
The sword and shield.
Sword and shield. Okay, Rurik. What have you got out?
My ends.
You're right. So no weapons at all. Excellent. Tenariel.
His hands are the most dangerous weapon he has.
He is.
Ready
Shield
to make
and,
connection.
Oh, waffles.
Shield and mace. Did you say?
Shield and no, my mace is strapped away.
Okay.
On my belt.
Shield and.
Can I give the
Free
fire
hand.
resistant
Free hand.
potion to Bazooka and Blood?
Hang on. Let me finish off. Ashenik, what have you got?
Quarterstaff in one hand and then a produce flame in the other, so I can see if that's right with people.
Excellent.
Can I give the fire resistance potion to Bazooka?
You've already given me the fire resistance
Okay.
potion.
I take it you don't need to ask me.
Okay, so it sheds bright light in 10 foot and dim for another 10 foot. So I'll stick that on to your character.
I look at Ashenik and then realise, hold on, it's flame. And I kind of get the fire resistant potion ready.
Yeah,
On my belt.
And
Jeanette just does
Ervon,
this.
what are you wearing?
Longbow,
What
of
have you got
course.
out? You got your longbow out. Yep. Okay, so the train track sort of like follows down, and it seems to be on not a steep decline, but a gentle decline. So you would have thought if a wagon was on here, it would have gone down here quite easily, but probably would have taken some pushing, especially if it was loaded, to actually be brought up. About just out of your dark vision range, Bazooka, at the front, you notice that it takes a gentle hairpin bend. So it's enough that the wagons would probably not go off it, but at the same time it is a curve, so it's now coming back down underneath where you are. And then after roughly the same amount of space, it curves again to go back down. So there's a series of sort of like hairpin bends. Just out of interest for you, at each bend there is a siding of the track that would allow a wagon to be pushed off to allow another wagon to pass it, and there's the appropriate points at this on those that with the handles, that the levers that you could change it to allow a wagon to pass one way or another. As you go down this track, you notice that the atmosphere in the mine changes. If you remember, up at the top it was quite dry, and even the various things that you found was very desiccated, and there was no moisture in them at all. As you tend to go down these tracks, there tends to be, the walls tend to be more, as you touch them, they have moisture on them and sort of like water dripping, and you feel generally that the air is becoming a lot more humid. The temperature also is quite unusual. Rurik, does roll an appropriate roll that you would like to roll for being underground, about generally knowing undergroundness.
I think that's nature.
Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, you get the feeling that this far underground, it shouldn't be that moist. And the other thing that you notice is that it's getting, it's a lot warmer than what it should be. And it's not boiling hot or anything. It's just moist.
Moist. Love that word.
Sorry, my sister's phoning me, and I
I
refuse
tell
to
the
answer.
party that it's not supposed to be this humid here. We might need to be careful. There might be like water that passed through near it.
Okay,
Or lava.
So what, like another water elemental?
No, maybe more like an underground stream of water.
so an underground stream or something like that, maybe. Okay. Let me just make sure that this is activated so you can see. Okay, I'm going to move you. So after that, it seems to come on to a sort of like a separation of junctions. So I'm going to move you onto that now. I've moved your characters onto the tokens onto the map, but don't worry, I'm not assuming that you've gone this far in. It's just to get you all onto the map so we can start. So hopefully you can all see this now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nope. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so before you go any further, let me just point out some things that might be interesting for you. You can see down this area that there appears to be some kind of a brown fungus or toadstool, and there you can also see a grey one here. Yeah? Can you see that one? So they are actual fungus. They're actually growing out of the rock. And Rurik comments that that is very unusual underground. Having something like fungus underground is quite natural, but usually it's much too dry and they don't actually spout up. The other interesting thing is your track continues, as you can see, going straight ahead. However, can you see here, there appears to be another track that doesn't join on to yours. It's got a buffer on it. So it's as if the wagons would come down this stage and actually hit that buffer. So it's not flat. I just want you to be aware that it's not flat. You can also see that the train track, the wagon carries on straight ahead of you as well.
Well, it's worked for us so far. I recommend we stick with the right to left method.
Right wall hug.
I won't go near the mushroom. I got enough of those things in my life.
So we're hugging the right wall, yeah?
Yep.
Right, okay.
Badger, mushroom.
Okay, Julius and Bazooka, can you make perception rolls for me, please?
Yes, certainly. I passed that with flying colours compared to.
I'm a tank.
I don't observe.
You can hear. You almost every now and again hear in the distance gnome voices coming from down the corridor, and then you think there might be. They seem to be. This is you, Bazooka. You think there's gnome voices down the corridor, and they're sort of like almost like muttering to each other. Julius, you hear human voice, half elven voices, sorry, muttering to each other, and every time you sort of like try to focus in on them to see what are they actually saying, you just sort of like they just go.
I hear some voices down here. They seemed human enough to me.
Human?
Yeah,
The gnome voices. Gnome voices, they are.
No. They're definitely human voices. Yeah, I can just quite hear them.
Nope, I heard gnome voices. They're definitely gnome.
I say they're human.
You speak gnome?
No. Did you speak? I can definitely tell they're human.
Rurik, make a perception roll.
They ain't.
Yeah, Rory, you can actually hear a complete mixture. There seems to be a whole load of voices muttering to each other. You sort of like because you've got really keen ears, or they're just really big. One or the other. So you pick up more of the discussion, and you hear things like little. You don't hear the whole conversation. You hear little snatches of it. So you hear things like, I don't really like it down here. How long do you think we've been down here? Seems to be here a long time. Wonder when we're going to get out of here. Seems like we've been down here a really long time. And they just seem to be talking to, not necessarily to each other, but almost to something or somebody else.
And I guess a spell.
Yeah, cool. Please enlarge Julius down here.
I would like to cast Detect Magic
Yeah, cool.
to see if some sort of illusion.
So that's within 30 foot of you, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's hang on, because I can do this. Does it emanate from you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, can you see that yellow circle now?
Yeah.
That's 30 foot. Yeah, you do sense magic. Interestingly enough, you sense it from behind you. You actually sense it from down here.
Frowning.
I thought you were going to point at Shenning then.
There magic down there.
Well, all our items should glow as well. If we have anything.
So do we have any really yet?
Well, the only thing
my-
the only thing that would glow will be anything that is magical that you've got. But I was assuming that Rurik would know about that and just sort of like filter that out on a filter and sort of think, let's just concentrate. So yeah, there definitely seems to be magic emanating from down here, Rurik.
So where's the fungi?
Yeah.
And I know which school of magic is it?
He's deep.
You think it's probably some kind of druid magic, but you're not too sure.
Oh.
There's a druid that casts magic here.
At this point, Ashnik is prick up, and he goes, "Ooh, really?" And advance towards where Rurik is standing.
So, Shenik, you can see these fungi now a lot clearer than before, because I think they're more in your light range. Rurik, just tell me when you're ceasing concentration of the spell, because it lasts up to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So just let me know when you want to cut it off and I'll remove your circle for you. Bazooka, can you just make a perception roll? And Tenariel, can you make one as well, please? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bazooka, you think this this talking is getting closer, coming down the corridor. Yes, Tenariel, you can hear it very clearly now. Coming from the corridor from where Bazooka is. And I don't know whether or not Rurik shared with you what he could hear, but you sort of like hear what I described to Rurik. So it's sort of like saying, so how long do you think we'll be down here? Yeah, we seem to be down here ages. I wonder if anybody's coming to get us ever. Yeah, I guess we're going to just die down here eventually. I wonder what we think we should be doing. We really have no idea. It's in common.
Common.
Yeah.
Well, I shall turn and say I can hear the voices too.
Are they speak? Are they speaking common that I can hear, or Numish?
Common.
Okay, it is in common. See, I turned to Bazooka. Actually, told you it was in common. And Bazooka, you're.
It's definitely gnome I hear, is not common.
And that starts off going again. Is I know it's definitely coming. He says it's coming.
Oh, I haven't seen a gnome in ages, so I'm gonna run down here.
Okay, so hang on. Well, just before you head off, just move your character back. Let's move your character back. Because just as you set off, something, so you just think, oh, I'm off down here, and you just go off, and something comes into your visual range, and you sort of like see it appear, and it seems to be this almost like jelly-like mound, and imagine it like in our terms, in this world's terms, think of it like a mound of jelly all sort of like slippery and sliming and moving. And as it moves, Bazooka, I think you can see it now.
Yeah.
Let's just check how much you can see.
I can see it all.
Yeah, brilliant. So you can see that as it's moving, there's eyes moving round it. So you see one eye moving and it goes up over the top and disappear. And then you see an eye just sort of like go come out of its side and sort of like slowly slide down. And the voices that you can hear, you can every now and again they're sort of like, and this mouth appears and goes, I really don't know what we're doing down here. And as it falls down, it gets absorbed into the blob, and then another one appears just over their head, and it's sort of just from the skin it goes bloop, and opens up and says, I wonder if anybody's coming to collect us, and goes and then disappear. And this creature is sort of like slowly, the best way to describe it, slowly oozing towards you. Okay, guys, let's have some, let me just clear this. Let's have some initiative from people.
Oh my.
Good roll, Big Beastie. See, you're practicing so much for that.
Can you see your screen? Can you see your screen?
Oh, well done. Who am I? Whose screen am I looking at?
He's already done it.
He means
He's
Zoom,
already
the
done
cameras.
Oh, I see what you mean. Got you.
You didn't want to see what he did anyway.
Oh, was it rude?
A little bit.
Cool.
What the Englishman did to the French.
Okay, let's just jelly mouth / eye blob, we'll call it.
Thinking such technical
well-titled.
terms.
And we're coming in at 14. Okay, then let's. Oh, Bazooka, you've gone right the way down to the bottom there. Okay.
Goo monster too precise for you.
Yeah. So, Ereval, you are up.
It's barely even on my vision here.
Yeah, that is totally correct. So,
I'm gonna step forward and say, "Can anyone tell what the hell that is?" I'm gonna notch an arrow, ready and attack if it comes any closer.
yeah, and if you manage to find a clear shot through the tank, it's, over bazooka's probably absolutely fine, but with the tank in the way, that's probably going to be a little.
Is it any better? Is it any better from here? I think
It depends. It depends where the jelly thingy moves.
All right.
Because if it moves down here, then no. It also depends when Duelist moves. You know, so
Sure.
so you absolutely fine stood there. Rurik, you are up next.
So I need to move here to see it.
Yeah, you can see it. You can see over sort of like round Duelist and over the top of Bazooka. As long as you can see it in your light, then you can see it. What you want to do with it will depend. How much of it you can see will depend on what you want to do.
I would like to make a history check to see if I heard history, like stories from the mines and stuff.
Okay, yeah, go for it. No, you haven't seen anything like this before, although you do know there are legends that dead miners or miners who have been left to die, often their sort of like their souls can come together and almost like haunt the mine. And you've had experience. Well, you've heard your father and grandfather telling you stories of this in the past, where dwarven miners have been left to die, and when they've been opened the mine again, they've sort of like congregated into sort of like souls of haunting dwarves and what their main purpose is to seek out and revenge for what people actually did to them. Okay,
I tell to the party that there's evil minor souls.
Cool. Okay, Tenariel, you're up.
Tenariel will cast Aid upon Julius, Bazooka, and Araval.
Yay!
So, Julius, Bazooka, and
Araval.
Yeah, cool. So is that
Just 5 extra hit points.
5 extra hit points, cool. Okay, so remember that'll go on to your temporary hit points. Excellent. Okay, jelly mouth blobby thing goes next, and it just making a wonderful sort of like noise. It literally slithers to here, and it's really interesting. Behind it, the people at the front, behind it, you can see bits of it being left behind, and then it's sort of like they sort of like move and catch up with it, and it's sort of like a bit of it gets caught on the side of the rock, and it detaches from it, falls to the ground, and then sort of like goes and sort of like attaches back to it as it comes along, and then all of a sudden you notice that it, without warning at all, it suddenly, Bazooka, just when you think it's opening a mouth or an eye like it did before, it sort of like seems to open, and then this blob that shoots straight towards you and is aiming straight for yourself. Okay, now
Do I get my attack?
To do what?
My ready to action.
Oh, I didn't realize you were readying in action.
Yeah, that's why I said that if he moved and I had a clear shot, that I wanted to fire on him.
All right, I'll check back later. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can have a shot. It won't stop this attack going off at Bazooka. So,
Okay, that's fine.
Bazooka, what you need to do for me is actually, I don't need it to hit roll. I need a dex roll from you. So you need a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh.
And that is not good enough. So all of a sudden, this you need to do some damage. Crit text, I think. Let me just you need to do some damage.
I was waiting for confirmation.
So this thing sort of like forces its way out and hits you and whacks onto you. And surprisingly enough, it doesn't do any damage, but it just explodes in a terrific burst of light. Julius and Tenariel, you see this, but most of it is shielded by Bazooka because it's sort of like hit around his stomach area, and sort of like does hit and blinded. This blinding lights are sort of like shattered out. And is that 8? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And you notice that all of a sudden, Bazooka, you are now blinded.
A jelly blob mouth thing.
You are blinded. Let me find a. I'm going to put the blob symbol on you. So it just sort of like goes out. You all see this sort of like this blinding light, and then all of a sudden, Bazooka, you actually go blind. Okay, so we'll see what happens to you shortly. Julius, you are up. You see an arrow coming flying past you. It seems to go straight into this jelly blobby thing, and it just seems to almost like be absorbed. And it's really peculiar because normally you either see arrows from Erevol's bow stick into things, or miss and pass through them, or sometimes even hit them and go through the other side. But it just sort of like hits and goes, and it just disappears inside the jelly blobby thing. Yeah, exactly. Okay, Julius, you are up. You've seen this blinding light, and you can hear. You're probably aware that Bazooka's going, huh, like that, and it's your turn.
As Bazooka's now impregnated.
He's gonna have alien babies.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
I'm gonna squeeze past him.
Yeah, you could probably. Yeah.
Just to block anything that comes as like a shout. Bazooka killed she. And I swing.
Yeah, cool. Swing away.
13.
Yeah, hits really, really easily. Really easily. It's almost like he has no sort of the jelly thing has no sort of like outer armor at all. Mm-hmm. He's sort of like go like that, and as you sort of like, I assume you sort of like draw your sword and to attack and go like that, and you do your 9 points of damage. The other thing that you actually notice, Julius, that as you get close to it into melee combat, you feel that the terrain underneath your feet is almost like sticky, and it's almost like that, as if this jelly mound thing is actually doing something strange to the terrain round about them. And just for your purposes, if you do anything within this time, it's now will be acting as difficult terrain. So it'll be double your movement for that little bit. Okay.
Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time.
Yeah, and just to let you know that that actually extends to just behind you, Julius. Yeah. Okay. So in between you and Bazooka. Okay, Ashenik, you're up next.
Ashenik goes, ooh, jelly. I haven't had jelly in a while.
Fireball.
No. Ashenik is going to stand and keep an eye out on the other 3 tunnels, because if there's one, there's more. And he says, if there's one, there's more.
Excellent. Rurik, you get a strong sense of magic now from the direction of this jelly mouthy blobby thing. You think it's definitely some sort of magic, since it's within your detect magic range. Okay, Bazooka.
Right. Okay. So before Jules passed me, and as this thing hit me, I've got obviously this thing's exploded in my eyes. I'm blind. I'm screaming. Oh, sorry. He's screaming. Bazooka's screaming. He's covering his eyes. I can't see. And he's swinging his scimitar.
Okay.
So how's that going to react to Jules taking over me?
So you probably realise that Julius is pushing past you because you were aware that he was behind you. Right. So just to let you know, if you're blinded, then I have advantage on hitting you, but you have disadvantage hitting anything else if you know roughly where it is. So, right. You can't, if you were a bowman, you can't just sort of like, I'll just fire up in the air, gain disadvantage, and it hits them, so, but you're probably aware that Julius pushed past you, and it was Julius, and not this gibbery jelly thing. So...
I was just reacting to the situation.
No, I think that's brilliant. And I think what you probably do, I know what I would probably do in this situation, is get my back to a wall, because then I'm...
Yeah, right. So knowing that Julius was behind him, he would push back as well.
Yeah.
And rise and swing.
Yeah, so whereabouts do you want to end up as you're going backwards?
Well, he would probably push back as far as he can go against something that was firm.
Yeah. So I just Tenariel's eyes light up. So you're going back towards the wall. I didn't know whether or not you were going to go back until you bumped into Tenariel, and then sort of like stop there.
Where I was. Okay, so yeah, it'd probably be aerial.
So
Then he turns around and starts swinging.
So Tenario, you actually see Bazooka coming backwards, so like going like that as he comes backwards into you. And then he doesn't hit you or anything; he just sort of like comes into you. Okay, Ereval, you are up.
I want to actually call out to Bazooka, and I've got you, buddy. I'm going to try and drag him back actually away from combat. Let the cleric look at him. I realize he's flailing around, but it's pretty inefficient. So, I mean, in his light being a gnome, I should be able to just grab him one-handed and kind of drag him back a couple of squares.
Whereabouts do you want to drag him to? That's what
I'd like to get him to this square here.
Okay, so you sort of like, obviously you'll probably talk to him first and say, Bazooka, I'm moving it. So, so Bazooka, you will hear Ereval's dulcet, calming tones of a wood elf, and sort of like, are you going to let yourself be pulled back?
I don't know.
From my point of view, I think from looking at it,
so he's here. He's heard his native tongue. Do you know what? Yeah, good. Yeah, go on.
But you also saw it coming out of that creature because it was still talking as you saw the mouths come out of it. So you would have realized.
I think the other thing is that you probably Ereval's quite a good statistician, and you know that he knows what he's generally doing because he's helped you in the past, and you sort of like hear his dulcet tones. I mean, if somebody had dragged you without saying anything, then you probably would have resisted. But the other thing is, I think it's the first time you've been blinded as well.
It is,
and it's quite a scary thing.
Yeah, that's why he's playing around.
So you probably keep your swords out, your scimitars out, not sort of like flying them around to sort of like take Tenariel and Rurik out as you go back. you probably sort of like let yourself be put to safety. Is there anything you want to do with him, Ereval, when you get him there?
Assess what's causing the issue. Like I'm assuming I can see this goop in his face.
No, it's not. What it looks like is that it's hit him and exploded with a flash, and it's the flash that has actually blinded his eyes. So it's almost like a high beam of light that's causing the blindness, but not like a little torch going in, but a really powerful blind beam. So if you look at his eyes, you can see his eyes are literally open, but he's just sort of like looking around as if he can't see.
Would I know either probably with a survival check about what the lasting effects or assume it? Because if I'm confident that it's temporary, I'm going to reassure him that it's going to pass.
Yeah, make your survival check. Yeah, you think that it's going to wear off pretty soon. You don't think it's a lasting. I mean, if the blob had got him in the face, then he would be here for quite a while. But you think pretty soon it's likely to sort of like wear off. Because it's like I say, it's just a bright light. Okay. Yeah.
I was going to say, I spend the rest of the term trying to reassure him that just take a second, you're going to be fine. It should wear off momentarily.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. Okay, Rurik, you're up.
I'll move here.
Yeah.
And I'll ready a firebolt for when Jolies get away from the monster.
Okay, so if he steps away from it, you're going to chuck it. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, Tenariel, what would you like to do?
I will turn and come to Bazooka.
Stroke his hair.
Does
he have hair?
I'll just kick him as I go. Oh, sorry, didn't see you there. I'll look at Ereval and how is he? I shall say it, and then I'll crouch down to. Gosh, sorry, I'm forgetting names. Why am I doing that?
Bazooka.
Yeah. Oh my
You
god. Bazooka, it's me.
Tenario
Let me have a
probably
look.
would have heard me telling him that it should
Yeah,
pass.
he did. Yeah, Tenariel did
Is
hear
there
that. Yeah.
is there is there gunk on his face? That kind of
No,
thing? Is
no,
it-
it just looks like somebody's done a bright light in his eyes, and that's the momentarily blindness. So you do. Errol says as you come over, you hear him saying to Bazooka that he thinks it'll pass shortly, you know, and he'll
like
be absolutely fine.
I'll
It's like a
just try and
ye
keep him
old-
calm then, and
Cool. Yeah,
tell him to keep his eyes closed. It'll pass.
yeah.
Just
It's
give it
like
a couple
a
of minutes.
ye old flashbang.
Just Tenariel, just do a charisma check for me, please.
Oh yeah, it's our lowest stat after intelligence. Charisma. 16.
Oh yes, you and Bazooka. You feel you hear these soothing words from the cleric that you know, the wood elf cleric of Tenariel, and you feel that your heart slowly starts to relax and get back down to normal as she whispers sweet nothings and calms you.
Pull yourself together, you
yeah.
coward. We all float down here.
Okay, back to Jelly Mouth Eye Blob. Okay, so this is my hit against you, Julius.
Yep. Nope.
13 of probably miss. Okay, but can you make the similar dexterity saving throw? So you DC 13 or above.
Nope.
Okay,
Damn it, guys.
so all of a sudden, you notice that a sort of like almost like an alien mouth comes out of it. So like a little mouth, sort of like that. It comes out with a blob, and it goes to whack you, and you sort of like knock it away around with your shield to one side, and you notice that it flings off to one side and just absorbs itself back into the jelly mode. But at the same time, what you weren't aware of is that coming straight at you comes another one of these blobs, and it just like lands just by on your helmet and bursts into light, and you are now
Blinded too.
blinded. Now, just so you know, now
Does my magical things, my arm things, what they called, braces?
no, they don't do anything in this situation. But once the monsters had that turn, Bazooka, you start to see, and you sort of like blink your eyes, and you open your eyes, and you just see a gorgeous looking wood elf with long blonde hair gazing very close to you. And
He's stepped away for a second.
I'll motivate him further. Julius is
Is blindness a sickness?
are you asking?
No.
Yeah.
Who are you asking?
The DM.
In this case, you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know in this case. Okay.
Because
If it affects me, then it's not sickness.
Okay. Julius, you are up.
I'm kind of like stunned, as like because I didn't expect it, didn't see it coming at me.
That is completely true.
So I kind of, I don't think I'll like in my stunned state of being blind as well. I saw it obviously happen to Bazooka, but I don't know that it's only temporary. So I'm like, I take a step back. As well. I was like,
Yeah. You can swing your sword if you wish. You know, because you know the creature's in front of you, but you will be at disadvantage to hit it.
yeah, I will swing it blindly.
Yeah, you probably can't. If you look at your token now, I'm assuming that you can't see anything.
I can't. Yeah, I can't. It's all black. It's all black.
Cool.
Bazooka, you can see again, by the way.
Oh, please tell me that's yeah. Okay then.
Yeah,
So
that one.
So roll you need to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Another one.
Okay. You swing wildly with your sword, and you feel it hit something, but it almost like you turned your bladed weapon too early, and it actually slaps against the jelly mound thing, and you feel it absorbed into the jelly mound, and it tugs in off your hand, and suddenly this weapon just slips out of your hand. Tenariel, you can see from where you are that it's actually been absorbed into the jelly mold. But Julius can't see that at the moment. Okay, Shenik, you are up.
Shenik is going to prop his quarterstaff up against the buffer of the train tracks in front of him, and then ready an action in case the jelly mold starts advancing down the tunnel.
What's
to defend himself?
What's your readied action? Sorry.
He's going to cast a spell. Poison spray.
Okay, cool. Okay, Bazooka, you are sat on the ground. You stood up. You've come round. You're ready for action.
So he's at this point he's gonna feel a bit disoriented, being in one spot, and then his vision comes back and he's in a different spot altogether.
Yeah.
So he's a little disorientated. He's a little wary. Who's that there? I can't see. Shenik. He's gonna come up at the side of the Shenik, and he's just gonna have his weapons ready, looking down or looking around, trying to figure out where he is.
Okay, so it's at this point that you see Julius, who's been disarmed and facing this jelly mobby thingy to the distance. Shenik seems to be readying a spell. Tenariel's been looking into your eyes fondly. I think that could be a buddy romance coming up. I really do. I think, size doesn't matter in this case. Ereval,
you can always ask Clout to enlarge it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Seeing Bazooka back on his feet, I'm going to step past Tenariel, give her a pat on the shoulder, say good work, and get back within firing range. I probably can't stand in that square there, huh? It's too small.
Yeah. No, you can stand there. That's absolutely fine. Yeah.
All right. And then we'll take another shot at it.
Yeah, 13 hits. 5. What's happening to your rolls, guys? Beginning of last adventure, they were absolutely fantastic. You were doing 23s, 24s through battle.
He told us that the first enemy is going to be quite easy, so we're making it down.
Yeah, you're saving your high rolls. Excellent. Rurik, you are up.
Surprisingly, I will cast a spell.
Cool.
I will cast Mage Hand.
Yeah.
With my Mage Hand, I will grab the end of Jolis and guide him to safety.
What are you grabbing on him?
His hand.
His hand? Yeah?
With my Mage Hand.
Yeah.
And I'm guiding him.
Okay, so Julius, all of a sudden, you feel something grab your disarmed sword hand.
I'm like,
yeah, so you technically don't know what it is because you know there was nobody stood round you when you got blinded. Okay?
Yeah.
So
I kind of want to hit out at it with my fist.
Okay then, so roll your strength roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you feel this mage hand sort of like grab hold of you, and you sort of like shake it. It doesn't seem to be. It seems to be wanting to pull you rather than attack you, but it does mean that you're almost like presenting yourself now because your sword arm is sort of like down to one side. Tenariel, you're up.
Oh, I'll call out, Julius, come to me.
Where are you?
The sound of my voice.
You're
Come
blind,
to
not
me.
deaf.
Okay, so Julius on Tenariel's action. Yeah, if you want to move Tenariel,
Sorry.
go for it.
No, I'm going to stay where I am, but I'm going to cast Bless on Julius, Araval, and Bazooka.
Well, you can't get any worse, Bazooka. I mean, our rolls by now. We kind of need it.
Yeah, so guys, that's at what level?
First level.
First level. So guys, that gives you an extra 1d4.
Yep.
Okay, that you can use on saving throws and to hit rolls. Okay, but it doesn't increase things like damage. It's only you probably need it for some saving throws at the present moment in time. Okay, then. So jelly monster time. So this is its attack on you. 8 will miss.
It can't even hit a blind man. God.
No, it can't. It's really really.
In fact, that'll be 15, wouldn't it? So yeah, it still misses.
Yes, yeah, that's what I was doing. Yeah, because it's got advantage against you. So Erval, you see something go out to grab, sort of like to bite Julius, but it just clanks off his plate mail. And as you see this, you notice that another sort of like sponge-like blob, not sponge-like Bob, a sponge-like blob comes shooting out at you and whacks you. Can you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Well, I can do that.
Hopefully you'll be the yes. And because you've seen this beforehand, as the blob goes towards you, you manage to just turn yourself and shield your eyes, and it just explodes off your back, and everybody else sees this blinding light, but you're too far away to affect you. And as it would have blinded Araval if he was facing it. And at that point, you become unblinded.
Sweet.
Julius. Oh, just in time for your...
Yeah, now I don't need to move back anymore. Well.
Yeah, what would you like to do?
Can I see the end of my sword within the creature?
Good question. Yes, okay, is it a long sword?
Yes.
Yeah, so I will say that it's probably absorbed it, but its hilt is in the process of being absorbed into it at the same time. So if you want to make a strength roll, you'll be able to pull it out.
Yep. +4 for this as well. If +4.
I don't think +4 is going to help.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you managed to get.
Did you actually use it?
Yeah.
You wouldn't
waste
use it. You wouldn't use it. But does it? Tenariel, does it just keep on? You don't have a certain amount.
It lasts for 1 minute.
Yeah, you just concentrate on it, don't you? Then that's it. Yeah. So you sort of like grab. So you've now imagine that at the end of this round, you've got your hand on the hilt, and you're trying to, and it sort of go like that. And you can feel this jelly thing trying to suck it back into it, and trying to keep hold of it. Okay.
He's trying to suck in the end of my.
Yeah. Ashenik, you're up.
Can I see enough of it to cast a spell, or is there too much of Julius in the way from where I am?
What does the spell require? Does it require to hit roll?
Yes.
Yeah, so in these situations, all that I do is that I increase its armor class by a certain amount. So okay. I'll probably say that you can probably see half of it, so I might give it +2 to its armor class, so it's harder to hit. And if you miss, then judging how well you miss will be depending whether or not you hit Julius or not. And depends what the spell is, of course, as well, yeah.
Okay. Ashenek is going to half turn and keep an eye out on the other tunnels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bazooka, you are up.
Okay.
Can I just say,
he's got
guys?
his-
Can you just say, guys? I have no worry about the challenge level. Can I just say no worries at all?
This is going to be easy. So even with an extra player, it's going to be so easy for you.
Okay, sorry, Bazooka. Off you go.
Okay, seeing that he's got his bearings back, away. He is going to. What?
Yeah, 25 foot.
Yeah, he's going to make that. He's going to charge and attack.
Cool. I'm just going to move you slightly further forward. Yeah. Yes. 18 hits.
Second attack.
22 definitely hits.
So 7 and 8.
So 15 points of damage. So, Julius, as Bazooka sort of like slice in it with two scimitar attacks, you suddenly feel that your sword becomes loose, and you sort of go woof, like that, narrowly missing the hilt, whacking into Bazooka's face, but you're actually free to attack your next right. However, you can fire over the top of Bazooka's head. It is big enough for you.
That makes it easier. I was all set to actually give him my long sword. Make crack about running out of spares, but he's
I was waiting for Tenariel to drop another weapon so Julius could just pick it up.
Come on, man.
So effectively, you'll be like my page boy.
Yeah,
another weapon.
A squire.
Yeah,
be your squire. Squire, a weapon.
The number
please.
6 longsword.
All right, firing another arrow over the top of Bazooka.
Yeah, 25 hits nicely.
Oh, that's a better hit.
That certainly is. Okay, this you notice now that this jelly mound thing, it seems to have, beforehand it was sort of like congealing all together despite the hit. Now you notice that there's bits sort of like separating off and sort of like falling down, and you can see that they're not actually moving anymore. Can you remember beforehand they were congealing back, they were moving back to it? Now you can see half of it is just sort of like slid off, and that arrow Aravold went actually through it and sliced a hole in it, and it just sort of like peeled off and almost like became limp.
So is Julius now ankle deep in this slop?
Yeah, well, it's also like sticky terrain round here. It's not adding with the slop coming off, but it's still difficult terrain. Rurik, you're up.
Rurik, you're muted.
Is Bazooka small enough for me to burn him and over him?
Yeah, of course he is. You can just stick your hands over the top and go for it.
You need to make a dex save.
Well, hang on a minute. First of all, I need to know where you're doing it.
I'm doing it.
So, but you'll need to put your character where you're. If you hold Alt down and move it, you'll be able to move it to the exact location. Yeah, that's it.
Can I be there, or?
Well, no, you're going to have to be actually. You'll have to be. Let me just there. Yeah, you can't occupy that same squares. Yeah, so you're going to actually be there.
You need to make a dex save of 13.
Okay, can you just post it up for me, please? Because I think it's a cone.
Yeah, it's a cone.
And there's no way you missed the other two.
Well, firing over Bazooka's head probably will miss Bazooka, but it's a 15-foot, a 15-foot cone. Let me just put this on.
That's all right. I'm sure Tin Man can make this deck safe.
Yeah. So okay then. So Julius, you're going to have to make Rurik, you do your spell, your damage,
Okay.
and Julius, you need what is it? Is it a Dex saving throw?
Yeah, 13.
Yeah, a Dex saving throw. You need to get 13 or above. Poof. So, Julius, you sense that Rurik comes behind you. Bazooka, you feel this sheet of. Hang on, let me just get ready because I'm always prepared for things like this.
Isn't this the second time that you've done this to my character?
I think it is.
There's
actually.
a reason why I gave you a fire resistant potion.
So all of a sudden, there's this blast of fire. Rurik, Bazooka, you feel it over the top of your head going off. Do you have a helmet on, Bazooka? You've probably got a chainmail cloth on, so you feel it get rather hot underneath it as this it blasts out over you. Also, I'm getting excited with my. I'm just going to do it all over the place.
he finished a little early.
Yeah, I never get a chance to do that, so I'm just doing it. Let me. Okay, so I need to take. Let me just check something. Yeah, so that's all right. So I take. What do I get?
And do you make a dex save?
Hang on a minute, because I don't know whether or not I can do a dex saving throw. Oh, yes, I can.
Oh,
18.
so you take 6.
I take 6. And Julius, you take
Well,
12.
There goes my aid spell.
Yeah, but don't worry, because when somebody heals you, you'll get those. That's right, isn't it, Tenariel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you dropping your detect magic spell, or do you want a DC roll to keep it going?
I'll DC roll.
Yeah. So are you going to keep both the spells going? Is that the plan?
Burning End isn't a concentration spell.
Okay, so casting another. Oh, it's not a concentration. That's cool. Okay then. So yeah, this thing is quite battered and bruised now, but it's actually still alive. Tenariel, you're up.
Not really much I can do, so I will join a Shenek up here.
Oh, you can have a healing discussion. You can chat about healing or something like
We
that.
can chat about which herbs are the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm not too sure what you're implying there, Ashadi. So, which herbs do you use?
Magic mushrooms.
A little green herb.
Sorry, anything else you want to do,
Druids
Tenariel?
and clerics
No,
get along
no.
famously all the time.
Okay, jelly mouth blobby person's time. Who hit it last time? You, Bazooka.
It was me, yeah.
So it's going to swing for you.
Technically, I hit it after Bazooka, but he probably can't get to
It can't get to you, yeah. 14 misses, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
What's your arm class? 16, I think
it's
it is.
17.
Yeah?
I thought it was the light thing again.
No. That's coming up now. Look at that damage. If that had hit, you would have taken 22 hit points of damage.
That would have left me with little health.
Yeah. Right. Do you want to make your Dex saving throw for the blinding spittle?
Not
get a-
really.
He gets a bonus for knowing it's coming this time, right?
12. Oh, do you want to use your 1d4?
Oh, yeah.
So
You need 13 or above.
1d4 roll.
Oh, yeah. So you actually managed to duck to one side and it goes straight in between you and Julius. I don't know if there's anybody stood there.
Nope.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. As someone moves out of the way, it's like,
Yeah.
nope.
So it's all like it bounces off the wall. There's a blinding flash, but that's nobody takes the damage. But it is a big blinding flash. And Julius, you are up. You actually have
Good
your
thing
sword.
I showed you how it's done, huh, Big Beastie?
Yeah. Julius, you're up.
I want revenge, and I'm gonna give it a good scene too. I get the D4 to hit.
No,
don't I?
10 hits.
10 hits.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Something that I can actually hit. 5. Afterwards, after I hit, I close my eyes.
Okay, it looks like it's hanging on in there, guys. It really looks like it's just hanging on in now. Ashenik, are you?
Ashenik is going to turn and
Dive in,
Yes.
pushes past everybody and hits it.
transform into bear mid jump. No. Ashenek's going, seeing that the jelly monster seems to be pretty much deceased.
From what you can see, yeah.
From what he can see, he's going to pick up his quarterstaff and advance a little bit away down to have a look down here.
Oh, interesting. Is that where you're going?
Yeah, just standing there.
Cool. Okay then. Bazooka, you're up.
Okay, so he's turned his back to it slightly, shield in his eyes as that flash has gone off. The flash has gone off, he's going to come back and strike
Cool.
with...
That
Yes.
hits.
That hits, and then he swings his other blade, and...
That hits as well.
Oh, okay, cool. 7 and 6.
It's like another kill for Bazooka.
And you suddenly notice with those 2 hits that the jelly blob mound just sort of like goes, and you notice that there's eyes and mouths as it sort of like becomes a puddle on the floor. You notice that these eyes and mouths sort of like move round, and sort of like you can still hear it going, I wonder if it'll ever come to help us. Are we going to die there? And the eyes sort of like stare aimlessly around the place, and then they just get absorbed into the mucus, and then before long it just sort of like spreads out into a puddle. Arvol, you notice that your arrows are here, so you can use the normal return half of them if you wish. They are in there, it's just not...
So I was going to ask if none of them actually got damaged.
No.
Nice.
But I think I said to you that one actually sliced through it and went down the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's the one.
I
that
fired
you
a
need to
total
check.
of 3.
Yeah. So this sort of like spreads out and sort of like just becomes a mucus puddle on the ground. What you do find is that you suddenly notice that there just seems to be a few copper pieces that it seems to be carrying it around with itself within it, and it just sort of like as it sort of like dissolves, you see these copper pieces just sort of like appear.
Battery, that's my kill.
Oh, it's only one. Finally. We weakened it for
It's
you.
not.
so it's fine.
It's not 1. It's 2 souls. So it's 2 kills.
It's many
2
souls.
kills.
Clever.
You heard it. Many souls.
Many souls.
Like, this is multiple.
Okay, so we've got a Shenik and Warwick going off in one direction. I think you're a little bit damaged, but not.
Yeah. I'm going to do lay on hands for 7 points for myself.
Okay.
Lay your hands.
I always
Yeah.
thought it went in lots of 5 lay on hands.
It's
Is it 5 plus your level?
yeah, it's 5 times you have a pool. You can do all the pool
Oh
at
yes,
once.
yeah.
And it's Paladin levels times 5.
Yeah,
so
got
I'm level
ya.
4. So
Cool.
yeah, that's 20. I have at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm now back at 26 with.
Teneriel's going to inspect what's left of the creature.
Yeah, it seems to be almost like, you know, that bogey things that sort of like elven children used to smear on each other when they were at school. It's quite mucus-like, and it's quite almost like dark reddish in colour. And you can see that it seemed to have sort of like eyes, bulbous eyes in it, but they're slowly just sort of like dissolving in it. You can literally push them around.
She will offer a silent prayer for the miners.
Yeah, cool.
So you kids, keep your fingers out your nose.
Teneriel says a silent prayer that none of you hear.
Yeah.
Because it's silent.
Well, because they're all heathens. So.
Oh, Ereval might like a bit of it. He's quite wood elven.
I've never really established any strong sense of religion.
I'm half wood elf.
Yeah, half.
I'm
doesn't
also
count for
out
anything.
with
So, guys, what
Pure
would you
elves.
what would you like to do next? You seem to be spreading yourselves
I was gonna
out.
say, I'm going to call down the cavern and say, ask Nick, was it? We should stick together. We're going to head down this path first.
A Shenik.
Upon hearing that, Ashenik will nod, take one quick glance at the other tunnels as he's walking this way, and join the back of the party.
Excellent.
Bazooka's going to turn around and say, "Thank you for your help," and march on up.
Okay, hang on. Let me just see what you can see up there. Okay, so you can see Bazooka as you. Is everybody sort of like moving up, or you?
Yeah.
I'm going to stay where I'm at with my back against the wall until the others pass by.
So you're at
Take
the
up
back.
rear
of the-
guard again.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
He likes the rear.
Like the butt end.
I didn't say that.
So okay, so you can probably see that again. There's one of these ramps going up. There is a little set of stairs next to it that has been carved into the sort of like the step, and then there seems to be what appears to be like a wagon ramp. That so you figure at one point that there might have been mining done up here, pushed into wagons, and the wagon got to this part, and then actually push down the ramp. These stairs that you can see here actually do go underneath the wagon ramp. So you figure that the stairs were made first to allow easy access up here, but when they started maybe to mine up here, that they put the ramp in to pull the ramp down. You can, from Bazooka, from where you are, can you make a perception roll for me, please?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can see here and here, almost like there's something shimmering. You don't actually have any light with you, but you notice that there's a different color on the face of the wall. You know, instead of just being all brown as you've seen before, there seems to be a bit of white, almost like in a line, and it's not sort of like this big and this wide, but it's just sort of like it seems to be like a little fleck that is almost like a slightly different color, a different shade of grey than the rest of your dark vision that picks it up.
A different shade of grey from all the 50 other shades.
Yeah.
So it's a darker shade of grey.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay. Is it still me?
It's whoever would like to go.
Okay. Bazooka's going to take the stairs, knowing how old this mine is. He's not going to trust the ramp.
Okay.
So he's going to take the stairs.
I'm going to take the ramp.
The ramp, Julius, the ramp seems quite sturdy. You notice there's a bit of give in it as you go up, but you probably think it's been around for quite a while and been used for quite a while. Although, just like the rest of the mine, there's nothing sort of like in here at the moment. There's no wagons up at this point or anything like that.
When Ashnik gets closer to and starts seeing the different like greys and silvery or whatever it is, like greyness on the walls, he's going to get his produce flame, which he's still got out, and sort of like bring it closer to the walls and examine the walls to see if you can see.
Okay, it's actually here and here,
Okay.
so you'll need to get. Is that the only?
When he gets closer.
Ashanek, is that the only light that you've got that produce flame?
That's my only light. Yeah.
Right. So we need to be careful if you're doing anything else, because if you do anything else and that flame goes.
Tenario will offer him the pebble if he wants it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Ashanek will say thank you very much, lean his staff with his free hand against his shoulder, and take the pebble.
Cool.
And then extinguish the produce flame.
What is that? 20 and 20?
Yes, I think so.
40 and 20, yeah. Is that right?
Just check.
Is that pebble like a permanent? Is it a permanent?
No, it lasts about an hour.
Okay.
So it's probably only got about 30, 40 minutes left.
Okay, he's going to
2020.
Yeah, 20.
Ashanek's also going to sort of like put it into the end of his staff, because he's got like a little like rooty thingy. He's going to go.
Oh, cast it on the tip of your stuff.
Okay. Yeah. It looks like some kind of metallic ore. That's very thin seams of it, and when I talk thin, it's about this big. If anybody would like to roll a suitable mining roll, Rurik, if you do it, I'll give you and Bazooka advantage on your roll due to your backgrounds.
Mining.
You need to be proficient in smithing.
Am I right? No.
Well, you can just roll your intelligence, because the chances are you will have seen it underground. I'll give you advantage on your roll, Rurik.
Yeah, I did.
Come on, baby daddy wants a Ferrari. Oh, the other way around.
Yeah, but you have advantage. So both of you figure that these are very, very thin seams of silver. And you figure they probably were once quite wide. So the seam was probably quite wide here. And as it's been mined, going down in this direction, it's got now an hour. So that's what you're seeing in the rock is almost like the tip of it, whatever's left. But you do feel that you're probably getting closer. Both of you recognize that this amount of silver, by the time it's been smelted, and you probably maybe be able to get half a slingshot, if that. It maybe not even make an hour ahead. But it is positive that you're going in the right direction. That obviously deeper in the mine, there's more the possibility of silver.
Jackpot.
This is mithril.
So
Can I say that? Or
You can say that it's mithril if you want. And Bazooka knows that it's silver.
Mithril in a silver mine? Yeah, I'm sure all by that.
Okay, guys. I suggest at that point we take a quick 10-minute break here, because it's coming up to 10 o'clock. So we'll have a quick 10-minute break there. And then, so we will be back. If you're watching the stream, thank you very much for coming along today. We will be back in 10 minutes. So make sure you go and grab a drink and stretch your legs. I'm just organising AFK stream stars. Get rid of that. And
empty.
To organise that. And we will be back very shortly. Well, in 10 minutes. Okay, so please, please, please do not go away, or you'll be in trouble.
It's only getting better.
Oh, it certainly is.